Pokémon loves their mushrooms. Mushroom Pokémon have been a part of the game since Generation 1, and there's a trend that every odd-numbered generation, a new mushroom Pokémon is introduced. These are normally from a two-stage line, and they all learn the move Spore. Spore is one of the best moves in the game. Sleep is the best status move, and the ability to spread this 100% of the time is amazing. However, most of the mushroom Pokémon are not that good. So in this video, I want to go through and work out which ones I would buff and what I would do to them. Parasect is the original mushroom Pokémon. Even though it's some sort of zombie crab possessed by like a killer fungus, it's one of the worst Pokémon in the game. It's really weak to fire and flying, as well as having a weakness to rocks, which are not good combinations for a Pokémon that's this slow. As a result, I think the only option would be to give it more speed. At least then it could get off a fast Spore, and wouldn't be so limited to just getting killed every time it comes out onto the field. However, the big change I'd make is give it the ability Comatose. With its eyes rolled over like that, it already looks like it's asleep, and it fits with it being possessed. It'd also give it an immunity to every status condition, which is helpful in every scenario. As for new moves, I'd give it better coverage, like Shadow Claw, Moonblast, and Weather Ball, so that it can work better on rain teams with dry skin. Breloom is about equally as weird. It's some sort of kangaroo mushroom animal, but at least it has two really good abilities. Technician and Poison Heal both allow different playing styles, but I think it could use more health to make use of that Poison Heal. Adding more health to these mushrooms is a theme that will come through, as I think it's quite thematic with the idea of mushrooms and fungus. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. As a small channel, every interaction is really important and means a lot. Thank you. Amoonguss is well known for having the funniest name of any Pokémon, and it's a staple of both competitive formats. VGC viewers will absolutely think that this guy doesn't need a buff at all. But maybe if we just give it a little bit more health, because he's a big boy and I don't think its HP reflects this. In Generation 7, we got Shiinotic, who I think has a lot of potential. I've made a video before about how I would change the ability Illuminate to buff light-based moves, and I think that Shiinotic could really benefit from this. With access to moves like Moonblast, Dazzling Gleam, Solar Beam, and the new option Signal Beam, I think it could be really good. I'd also increase its special defense, because then, with the addition of Strength Sap on the physical side, it could be a really good wall. Generation 9 was the first to add two new lines of mushroom Pokémon. Toedscruel is pretty simple in how you'd buff it. I'd make Mycelium Might affect everybody on the field. This way, it helps to check slower walls, as Toedscruel will still outspeed them if they're both at minus priority. I'd also change the ability to make it so that powder moves can still affect grass types, as I don't know why it doesn't do this already. Brute Bonnet is very different to all of the other mushroom Pokémon, and I think that they should really embrace this. Give it Dragon Dance to patch up its one bad attribute, its speed. It could be a really threatening wall breaker and sweeper if it had this move to boost up. What changes would you add to all of the mushroom Pokémon in the game? And what kind of new Pokémon would you like to see added to this category?